a quick story for you there, folks. It means nothing really. It's just a quick story. It's a true story. It's just something from many a year ago. I've seen something on TV earlier on this morning. It was someone valuing old memorabilia on one of the morning shows. It might have been This Morning or something like that. And somebody had a poster there from Jaws, an original poster. You know, the kind that you used to have on your wall. I had stuff like that on mine, I must admit, as a young kid. I had the Clint Eastwoods and the John Wayne ones and all that kind of stuff. And then the rock bands and everything else. Yes, I did. I've got to admit it. Well, I've not got to, but I'm going to, because that's what I do. I tell you the truth here. Anyway, I'll never forget Jaws. That it came up today, this poster. He was saying what it was worth as an original. And you could tell it wasn't original because of how it had been folded and whatever else. And he said, it's worth a bit more this year. And they said, why? He said, well, it's 50 years old this year. And I thought, good God, 50 years old, Jaws. Couldn't believe it. But this is my story. It's only small. It was the first film I ever went to see that I can remember that I shouldn't have been watching. Now, it would have been, what did they call it? It was not a U, there was a U. There was something in between. It was an A, the adult, and there was one in between. That had been in between. It felt like you had to be 14 or more. I wasn't quite that then. But it was on with a double bill. I don't know if any of you remember it. I loved the other film with it. The other film was brilliant. I loved them both. I loved Jaws. Absolutely loved Jaws. One of the best films I've ever seen. Crackerjack of a film. I would suggest it stands the test of time now, although I've not seen it for a few years. It was on with a film called The Mean Machine. If you've never watched it, you get it on some of these Fire Sticks sometimes. Go and have a watch. It's absolutely brilliant. But The Mean Machine, the double bill, I'm certain it was an X. I'm certain you couldn't watch it, which is surprising that they had it on with Jaws, because I'm sure Jaws was the 14 and above, and I'm sure The Mean Machine was a 16 or an 18 and 18. I'm sure it was, because the language in it was more than colourful. If you didn't see it, it's the one about the old prison guards versus the wardens in a football match. They've reproduced it many a time since. They did one, I think, in some quarters, it was what I see. It's called The Mean Machine. It's also been advertised as The Longest Yard, and I think it's been redone 3 or 4 years ago with Vinnie Jones. And I think they called it The Mean Machine again then, but I could be wrong about that. I would never watch the Vinnie Jones one. It would be a cheap, pale, crappy imitation. The original was old Burt Reynolds. He played Paul something or other. I think it was Paul. I can't remember. I know the name and I can't remember. But he'd been sent to prison. He was an ex-rugby football coach, American football coach. And they got him to sort of train the team of prisoners. And it was absolutely brilliant. Really, really, really good. I absolutely loved it. I believe you can still find it. You've got to delve to find it, the original. But it's a crackerjack. I seen it about the same time, funnily enough. If you've seen that, if you've not, go and watch it. You'll love it. Came out about the same time as, you remember one called Slapshot? That was another indie film. Paul Newman, ice hockey. Absolutely brilliant. Was it 2 brothers or 3? If you've not watched it, go and watch that. You can get that on some of these Fire Sticks. Slapshot. A brilliant, brilliant film. Really, really good. And then a bit after both of them came out The Warriors. The Warriors being one of my favourite films of all time. You're getting an idea of what kind of films I like here. No, you're not. I like all kinds of films. But I love them 3. A lot of violence in all 3. But fun with the violence and on edge of your seat stuff with the violence. They were all brilliant. If you get a chance, they're 3 worth watching. The Mean Machine, Slapshot, and The Warriors. I don't know how I got to the other 2 from Mean Machine. That just came. It's not wrote down or anything. But The Mean Machine was a Bobby Dazzler. So I'm there with my mum and my dad. They wanted to see Jaws, and I went with my mum and dad, which was, I think I've seen about 2 Bond films with them, and that, I never went to the pictures with my mum and dad. It was very, very weird. Thereafter, it was always with my mates, but I think I've seen about 2 Bond films with them, and I've seen that double bill, because my dad wanted to watch Jaws, and I went with my mum and dad, and it was squirming when The Mean Machine was on with all the cussing, as they say in that there in America. But it was a Bobby Dazzler. What a cracking double bill. Do you remember the days when they had double bills, and there were 2 good films? I do. Used to be absolutely brilliant. Used to love it, me. Really loved it. I love the Bond films when the Bond film ends and then at the end, James Bond will be back in Thunderball or wherever it might be. Loved it. Bobby Dazzler. Right, I'm going to knock this off because the battery's going. Right, I'll knock it off. See you later.